I finally fucking figured out why it felt like I was using my story as like a publicity stunt in my business. Like I totally felt like it was selling out my story. It was literally a mental block. Here's what I realized. When you're able to tell your story from the truth of who you are instead of like what you think people will approve of or what will work, it stops feeling performative and it starts being more of like powerful part of you that you let out, which is also inevitably what's going to connect with your audience and empower them as well. When I went to share my story, but didn't know yet how to connect it to my audience, I would immediately go into filtering the story into what I thought would work. And that's when the story starts to feel like really performative. And that's also when the shame around just being your full self starts to surface. I would immediately start going into these filters of like, I need to say it this way, or don't talk about this part because someone's going to get offended, or tone it down because that's too much, or make it palatable. And when we write from that place of like shame, everything starts to get like really watered down. And what shifted for me was like changing the filter that I entered the story through. So instead of how do I make this land or acceptable or useful, I focused on what is the real part of me this story is actually trying to express, right? And then when I got into that mode, I could then write from the energy of this is like who I am unapologetically, not who I think I need to be to fit into this like category and space and whole and whatever. It's like seeing my story that way didn't just like help other people see themselves in my story, but it also reflected something back to me and the power of my own story that I was literally minimizing at the time.